I've had a lot of people say to me that they promised their mom or their dad that they would never put them in a nursing home. But what you may not know is that sometimes a skilled nursing home is exactly where they need to be, but most likely they're not going to be there forever. Housing options for older adults have changed dramatically over the past 50 years. And so today we're going to go over the basics of housing and care options that you're going to need to know about for yourself and your loved ones so that you can make an informed decision when the time comes to make a transition. Welcome. This is Getting Old, Moving Towards an Age-Friendly World. I'm your host, Dr. Melissa Batchelor, and I'm a nurse and a nurse practitioner, and I've been caring for older adults and their families for over 25 years. Before we dive into today's topic, I wanted to share a few of the different ways you can connect with me. You can go to my website, melissabphd.com/join, and you can sign up to be an HYSU Insider for free. And that's where you can find all of my downloadable handouts that I've developed in one place. If you'd like, you could also become an HYSU MVP member, and there you will have access to a digital hub of videos, courses, and resources that are organized by subtopics, which makes it even easier to find the information that you're looking for. So if you've ever wondered if I have a related podcast on a certain topic, they're all grouped right there together for you. I also host a monthly live Q&A webinar for my MVPs. You can also become a podcast member on YouTube. Membership allows you early access to my episodes. You can join a monthly live Q&A, and now tune in on Tuesdays at 5 for live streams with me. And so depending on what level you sign up for, you will have access to those things. So now let's dive into housing options for older adults. So the first housing option are adult active communities. So these are typically like your 55 plus communities where you have to be a certain age in order to be able to move into that community. But these are within a variety of different communities, but it's very clear from the outset that if you are not old enough, you may not live in that type of community. Most of these communities may be more like low maintenance, meaning that they will take care of your lawn for you. There'll be different amenities. There might even be healthcare within that particular neighborhood that's available. But basically, everyone that lives here has to be independent and able to take care of themselves. The next option is independent living. And an independent living facility typically it's still a planned neighborhood, but it's typically on its own campus. It can be like dense housing, like apartments or condos. They may have little individual housing units that you can live in, but you're in a community of people who are closer to retirement age. These are people that are 65 and older, but typically 75 to 85 years of age, also still physically active, and they're moving to that environment to have lower maintenance. There might be housekeeping services available. They may come in and do your laundry, those types of things. But for the most part, it's still a social model of care, and everybody there can take care of themselves. The next level is assisted living. Assisted living is for people that can no longer fully take care of themselves. And even within assisted living, there are a couple of different levels. So if you are more physically frail, assisted living facilities can tend to be able to bring in home health for you, home health PT, OT, whatever you need to maintain your physical abilities. But some assisted livings will actually have memory care units. So if a person has advanced to the point with their brain with Alzheimer's disease or some other form of dementia, assisted living is going to be more along the lines of the housing and care option that you need. Again, assisted living is also out of pocket. So depending on how much financial resources you have, that will determine what type of assisted living facility you can live in. The next option is skilled nursing care. And with skilled nursing care, what that means is that you require some level of skilled care from a licensed nurse. So whether that's a registered nurse or an LPN, licensed practical nurse, there is something within a 24-hour period of time that you require every day. So saying to your mom or dad that I'm never going to put you in a nursing home, most nursing homes now are mostly short stay residents. There are long stay residents. So there are beds where people live there for the rest of their lives, but the majority of people going into skilled nursing homes right now are there for rehabilitation. So the point is you go to the skilled nursing home, part of that stay is covered by Medicare Part A, and as soon as your time limit is up, either you will transition back out either into assisted living or back into your own home or assisted living or independent living, any of these other housing options, or you will stay there as a long stay resident. But once you have expended your Medicare Part A benefit, then you become private pay, even in a skilled nursing home. So that's what a skilled nursing home is. Now, within those 3 levels of care, there's also this thing called a CCRC, or a continuing care retirement community. And this is typically like a membership model where you buy into the CCRC and you live in the independent living side first. And then the independent living facility will allow you to kind of progress through their different levels of care. So you stay in independent living for as long as possible, but you have a guaranteed bed in the assisted living that's part of that CCRC, or the memory care unit, or the skilled nursing home. So that's just an option to check out. There's a couple of them here around Wilmington as well. But basically with a CCRC, you're kind of buying that peace of mind that there will be a bed and that someone will be monitoring your care as you move through the different levels. There are also respite care options. And so this would be more of a temporary housing where maybe you are caring for a loved one at home and you need your older parent or whoever needs care, that you need for them to be able to go somewhere so that you can go on vacation, or maybe you have some obligations that you need to take care of. So respite care is also another option. But you may also find yourself in just like a rehabilitation care in and of itself. These are usually more closely related to like a hospital. So maybe you fall and break a hip. You may go to a rehabilitation center for your rehab, or you may go to a skilled nursing home. The difference in the two is that the rehabilitation unit associated with a hospital, you typically need to be able to do more than 3 hours a day of physical therapy or occupational therapy. So it's a much more intense rehabilitation experience. And a lot of older adults are very frail going into that type of situation, and they can't do that number of hours. And so that is why they end up being sent to a skilled nursing facility. But like I said, just because it's a nursing home doesn't mean that they're doomed and there forever. Had a lot of people that would come in and that's what they thought. And I would say, look, you just broke a hip. You were playing golf 2 weeks ago. I expect for you to progress through your physical therapy and totally get back home. So it's just a different mindset. And I think a lot of people are scared of nursing homes when they actually don't need to be. In fact, nursing homes are more regulated by the federal government and our state governments than assisted livings are. So the assisted living facilities of today are basically the nursing homes of 30 years ago without all of the regulations. In fact, just here in April 2024, the Biden administration did sign to increase the amount of licensed nursing staffing, which only took the nurses in this country about 40 years to finally get people to recognize that nursing homes need nurses. So moving forward, if you are in a skilled nursing facility, they will be required to have a registered nurse on site 24/7, versus assisted livings market themselves that they have nursing care, but really what they have are nursing assistants and med techs providing that care. And there may not be a registered nurse anywhere to be found. So that is just a thumbnail sketch of some of the different care options. We will talk a little bit more about, in some of the upcoming episodes, about different in-home care options that you have available to you, because most people want to stay in their home or live with their family for as long as possible. And so there are home and community-based services that are going to be available in your communities. Today, we were just going over some of the more, what we refer to as institutionalized care, just because they're more organized around that instead of a social model. So thank you for listening today. Don't forget, you can go to my website, melissabphd.com/join to become an AHYSU Insider or MVP. You can also become a podcast member on YouTube at the 3 different levels that I have available now. And please don't forget to subscribe to this podcast on whatever platform you're joining me on today. If you have found this information helpful, please like it, leave a 5-star rating and a comment, and share it with someone that would find it helpful. And I'll see you next time.